everybody. I'm Tim. Welcome back to Flix. Today we got our first Western. So we got what? It's a good John Wayne film. I'm going to give you a synopsis, see if you can guess what it is. A drunken, hard-nosed U.S. Marshal and a Texas Ranger help a stubborn teenager track down her father's murderer in Indian Territory. It's a good one. Sam, you got my ratings for me?
Yeah. It got 96% for critics on Rotten Tomatoes and an 85% from the audience. On IMDb, it's a 7.6 out of 10.
Hold on for a second. What movie are you guys talking about?
True Grit.
Obviously, True Grit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you not watch that movie?
No, I did not watch that one. I watched the infamous Blazing Saddles.
Right,
Oh. So you wore a blazing
Saddle.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Did you not?
No, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we're gonna review Blazing Saddles instead.
Yeah, I think that's the correct.
Sorry.
You're correct.
Sorry for all you True Grit fans. Not this week.
Maybe.
Not
maybe
this week at all. Yeah.
That was definitely not planned.
All right. I'll read the real synopsis.
Anywho. Nah, Sam's got it. Or Tim's got it. Who's got it? I'm Adam.
That's Adam.
Yeah. That's Adam.
Adam.
In case you're wondering. The only one that knew what was going on this week.
All right, I'll read the real
Right?
one here. Yeah, apparently. No. Okay, so the actual movie is Blazing Saddles, another Western classic.
Blazing Saddle.
Okay, we'll let him talk now.
Ribald, tasteless, and hilarious, this classic spoof of the Western genre by director Mel Brooks pokes fun at everyone and everything. A corrupt governor grants a reprieve to an African-American convict if the condemned man agrees to serve as a sheriff of a small western town, believing that new sheriff will only live long enough to serve the needs of the governor and his nefarious railroad baron backer. It's a long one.
That is a long one. It had 3 Academy Award nominations, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I know.
pretty crazy.
Like,
For knowing what movie this
Right.
is,
right?
it was nominated for the supporting role for Best Actress by Madeline Kahn, Best Music Original Song.
Well, obviously the song.
The Blazing
Right.
Saddles theme song was nominated for an Academy Award.
Yep.
And then the Best Film Editing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that was a long synopsis, but I really liked it because tasteless and hilarious and pokes fun at everyone and everything. I like to think that that's us.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah,
agree?
I agree. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel
Yeah.
better.
At least poking fun at Sam.
Wow, cool, thanks.
Specifically.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Specifically.
With that, let's get to the ratings of the actual movie.
Yeah.
So this one got an 89% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which I believe is just a hair higher than whatever was 88%. I don't even remember now that I was shocked by. Maybe Aladdin and King of Thieves.
No, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. For which one? For
89%
audience? Oh, no.
critics.
Aladdin and the King of Thieves got a 33%.
Okay, well, somebody had an 88% at one point, and this one scored better, so there.
It's winning.
Exactly. And it got a 91% by audience, which has to be a winning score so far
No.
for us, right?
Nope, Taxi Driver beats both of those, actually.
What?
Yeah, sorry, folks.
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
The 70s are rocking our ratings.
My point was that this one did pretty well, obviously. And then 90% on Google.
Mm-hmm.
90% of people watched it, liked it.
Yeah, same with 90% of the people liked Aladdin and the King of Thieves
Oh.
on Google.
So,
For some reason, Google's ratings are always astronomically higher.
Yeah,
and
it's
we bring it
interesting.
up every episode.
I know.
In case you guys are new here.
Yeah, in case you're new, we're Flipper Flix. You can catch us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, or any podcasting host near you on your phone.
And
And Sam forgot what she was going to say. So we have our Twitter and our Instagram handles are at FlipperFlix.
shocking.
I know. How did we get that?
I don't know. We got lucky. Okay. And we watched this movie on Hulu. It's available now. I can't guarantee it will be available when you listen to this episode, but give it a try. It's on Hulu. And we spun the classics category, and this is clearly a classic. I chose this movie because we hadn't done a Western, and I knew it wasn't really a Western.
I did not.
So I feel like...
I did not,
Yeah.
to clarify.
So I felt like if we're going to do a Western, we might as well not do a Western and do a
About as
comedy.
good-
That was a good
Yeah.
call.
Get away from a Western, but still do a Western.
So that kind of
by technicality.
Yeah. And so let's talk about our expectations, Tim.
First of all, yes, I hadn't seen it. I don't know how.
That's good.
But I will say, I went into, thinking it was a Western, right? And then the first few minutes made me think it was actually going to be a serious Western. But anyway, I will say real quick for people.
Wait. Did you think it was a serious Western for a second?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I didn't read the synopsis or anything. I just clicked play.
Oh, you did.
I don't ever do that.
Have you heard of it before? Had you not heard of this one?
I've heard of it. I just never heard about it. Like I know this. I know the name. Oh. People say the movie Blazing Saddles. I've never heard anything about it necessarily that I recall. I have a terrible memory. But I will say for people, maybe spoilers, but also it definitely that tasteless and hilarious bit. There is a fine line, makes fun of everyone. So if you're not into, I don't know, jokey racism, I guess, might want to avoid the movie. But anyway, yeah, I went into it thinking it was a serious Western, and then I was like, oh no, they're getting real racy with it. And then I clearly could tell it was a comedy a few minutes after that when it was just going back and forth, and I was like, okay, well, we'll see where this goes.
Well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Sam, what do you think? What do you think going in?
Well, I had seen parts of this when I was little, obviously, because it's not appropriate for children under a certain age. Yeah. Like, the one scene, spoiler alert, that I had seen was the farting scene, which to this day is still hilarious.
It is.
So I'm glad that held up. But I think that was, the only scene that I was allowed to see. And so I was like, okay,
I could see your dad just being like, you know what? Come here, Sam. You should watch this scene. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then I was like, well, I know a lot of people think it's really funny. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have picked this movie. because I was afraid that a lot of it was going to be outdated or a hot topic.
Oh no. A lot of it can still hit today.
Yeah, I was both excited and scared to do an episode on it. What
Oh.
about you, Adam?
I was super excited. I love Mel Brooks.
Well, yeah, Mel Brooks is great.
His other films are amazing. So I've known about Blazing Saddles, and we tried to watch it one night. I don't know what happened, but
I am convinced we turned the wrong movie on because the first couple of
you mean this time?
Last time when we tried to watch it.
No, because I remember he made it to the town the last time we tried to turn it on.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, it was too late at night or something. We just passed out during it.
Maybe. Because I was we actually had this conversation when we started watching it this time. We're like, did we watch the same movie last time? Because I don't remember any of this. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, so Tim, at what scene did you realize this was not a standard Western?
I guess because they were
Camptown lady, sing that song, doo-dah,
well, no,
doo-dah.
It was a little bit before that because they were sitting there making fun of all the workers and stuff, and then the workers gave it back to them, and I was like, okay, this isn't a serious movie. And I was like, everybody working on the railroad was just dogging these guys and making fun of them. I was like, all right, this is supposed to be a comedy or something because these guys are just tearing into them. But yeah, and then they went and started singing when they're going down the rail, using that little hand cart down the railway.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay.
I didn't actually know that song. I didn't know the words to the Camptown Lady sing that song.
Yeah.
The first part, I just always mumbled through it.
Right.
So thanks, Blazing Saddles. I learned the words.
And now
I think I knew the wrong words.
The wrong words.
Oh, it'll always be stuck in my head forever. What words did you think it was?
I thought that it just repeated itself. Camptown ladies sing that song, dude.
Yeah.
Camptown ladies sing that song, oh, da do da.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They just repeated the same words.
But there's a lot more.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more. Well, and I will say the line that I realized that it wasn't a typical Western was when he comes in hot and he's like, what in the wild, wild world of sports is going on here? Because I'm pretty sure, no one says that in a Western film ever.
I don't know. Maybe.
And I would just like to say that I want to start using that phrase.
And I also want to say that Mel Brooks, his point of the very first song was to make you think it was a Western film. He even got this guy, Frankie Lane. Mm-hmm. He's he is the Western singing guy.
Yeah.
He sings in front of all Westerns. And then Mel Brooks is like, so I didn't tell you that this was a comedy? But it is? Like, he didn't realize it until after. Frankie Lane didn't realize it until after he saw the film.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
He went in, but the reason Mel Brooks wanted him to give that, like, Western feel.
I love it.
He also, when he was trying to cast Frankie Lane, he wanted a guy just like Frankie Lane. He wanted a voice like him.
Yeah.
And then Frankie Lane showed up and was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
That works out.
See, like,
that's funny.
I didn't catch anything like that. Like, so there's so much in this movie that I thought was great and small and minor that if you weren't, like, kind of knowledgeable about something, you'd miss it. And I know I caught some things, and there's probably plenty of things that went over my head. But I was still chuckling.
Oh, for sure.
It was good.
At one point, Jim was just like, I may have killed more people than Cecil B. DeMille. Mm-hmm. Who the hell is that, right?
I don't know.
Right.
So I looked him up.
Okay.
Cecil B. DeMille is the, for lack of a better word, the olden day version of Quentin Tarantino. He killed so many people in his films. They just be dying everywhere.
There's
was he a Western
fourth wall break.
He did. Yeah.
Over and over again. This movie is
so many.
It's fantastic.
But yeah, so he's just like Cecil B. DeMille. It's just a director from back in the day that just murdered everybody in his movies.
That's funny.
I think he did a few. He at least did some Westerns, but he was all over the board. It looks like in my 30 seconds of being like, scroll, 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 scroll.
Nice. And I think so much of this movie, kind of what Tim was saying, is deliberate, right? So, like, the governor's coat straight up says Gov,
Gov.
on the back. So, like,
Gov.
you don't forget who he is.
Gov. He was wearing the same stuff Tim wears to the podcast.
Yes.
Just no pants.
No pants and
ever.
a jacket with my name on it.
Gov.
Boom, done.
Do you know what the governor's name was?
I hardly knew what anyone's
off the
name
top of my
was,
head.
honestly.
All right. So the governor's name is amazing. Okay, it's Governor William Le Pétomène.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's named after Joseph Pujol, who was his profession, I shit you not, was a farteur. Farteur.
Like a farter?
Yes, he was known to be able to fart
Ridiculous.
songs,
What?
and he would be able to blow out candles
With his
farts.
Oh my god.
Because he had so much like abdominal strength that he could take a breath in and then fart.
That's amazing.
All right, and it gets crazy.
I just realized
The dude
I
had a
have no talents after hearing that.
right?
That's true.
So he used Joseph Pujol's nickname, Le Pétomène,
Okay.
which means in French, fartomaniac.
Oh my god.
He was William Fartomaniac, basically.
This is what's so great about this movie. Like, everything has a place.
It does.
And it was very well thought
Yeah.
out
Oh, yeah.
in its ridiculousness.
Yeah, Mel Brooks, when they were in the writer's room, he was just like, we're probably going to be arrested for this anyways, so just go all out. Just do whatever you want. Like, if we can make it funny, we're going to put it in.
Nice.
And he said that he had a bunch of his own lines throughout the film. Mel Brooks did. They had to cut them just because it would have been too long. So it's just like the governor was going to be in it a lot more.
Mel Brooks is in it a lot already.
Yeah.
Three
like,
roles.
If there's a background character, odds are it's
Yeah.
him. Like,
Yeah. Did you,
just chilling.
Tim? Did you see him standing in line with the other ruffians?
At the executioner's thing?
No, not at the executioners. So when they were recruiting all the ruffians.
Oh, okay. I don't know that I saw him there.
Yeah, he's in an aviation suit. And I was
Did
like,
I
shit,
miss
that's Mel
that?
Brooks.
Yeah.
I rolled it back
That's
and Sam's
all-
like, that is Mel Brooks. I don't know. Actually, I do. He had big goggles on and a big hat.
Yeah, but how did I miss the
So, like,
aviation suit? I don't remember.
Oh, that. I don't know. He was looking. Tom was trying to be him, I guess.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mortal Engines.
Well, the other thing that was, like, deliberate and funny was that everything in the town of Rockridge was owned by a Johnson.
Yes.
And the
Everybody
small
was
town council, everybody was a Johnson.
I know, which is just so funny because it's like clear. I don't know. I just loved that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, apparently one of the choreographers was a Johnson as well in real
Yeah.
life.
Well, dude, you got your name everywhere. You're welcome.
One of my favorite things is the what's the sheriff's name? I keep forgetting his name.
Like Bart? Oh, Bart?
Bart, yeah, Bart. His outfits the whole time are amazing.
Yes.
And then his side saddle when he's on the horse when he first shows up. It's a
Yeah.
Gucci side saddle.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
I
Yeah.
love it. It
missed
just
that.
had Gucci written on it.
It's just in big old letters.
Oh my god, I loved his
man.
cowboy outfits, and I want some. I want some. 'Cause they were
All right, your
awesome.
birthday's in like a few months. I
Something
think
like
we
that.
can get it by then.
Okay, so make notes. Tim wants cowboy hats and a jacket that says Tim on the back,
Yeah,
so that he can wear them together.
A suit jacket, to be specific.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Goodwill and buy a suit jacket. Just put Tim on it.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh my. So you brought up the executioner, so I'm gonna hop back to that dude.
yeah.
The-
Boris.
Boris.
I love Boris.
In medieval armor.
Yeah, medieval. I was like, wait a second.
And then, what was his name? Headley just kept looking out and banging his head every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tried to come back in.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. So Boris actually makes a reappearance in Robin Hood and the Men in Tights.
As
Yeah.
Boris?
I don't know if it was as Boris,
Was
but
he an executioner?
I think he was an executioner again.
I mean, I recognized it, but I don't remember where.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Probably, yeah. But did he do the same like weird like
I think he
couldn't
did.
really
I didn't look into it.
follow his character because it was just so forced and weird. To be honest with you,
Well, I've got a bit of a line.
like he's sticking his tongue out and like hunching over and acting awkward. I don't know. He was just.
It was great.
If there was something that was a little off about this movie, besides some of the language, it was that. I don't know, or like that was like the forced moment to me, but.
You mean you wouldn't try to hang a dude sitting on his horse and hang the horse as well? That's not how you would do
Oh,
that.
sorry, that was just the horse falling too.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And then they had the wheelchair dude. I'm
The
sure that was
wheelchair, yeah.
supposed.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like supposed to be somebody specific.
Maybe,
Probably.
yeah.
Like the genie moments in Aladdin where he turns into people. It had to
Yeah.
have been one of those sort of things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was definitely deliberate.
Everything
For sure.
was.
Everything deliberate. So another character that Mel Brooks played was the Indian chief.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And did you notice that he wasn't speaking? He jumped in other languages occasionally, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Yiddish.
Yiddish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought it was German.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, because I was
Yiddish,
like, hold up, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but yeah.
Yeah. I looked it up because I was like, was that German? Nope, it was Yiddish.
too. Nice.
And then the German woman who was Lily von Stroop,
Yeah.
she spoke French.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was saying bienvenue, which is French, not German.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then Bart would go up to her, and then he is like, Guten Tag, and like he spoke German to her.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was speaking French.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just assumed she was speaking German as well,
Nah.
but that makes
No.
it even better.
It's way better. Because I'm sitting there, and then she had the French, what is it, the French laurel? Like the little New Orleans Saints little emblem?
Fleur-de-lis?
Fleur-de-lis.
Mhm.
She had the Fleur-de-lis as well, which is French.
Yeah.
But she was like, oh, we're Bavarian. And I'm like,
Are
are
you?
you?
Something doesn't match up here.
I know.
Well, I will say my only 2 complaints are this movie are from her. So let me just get
So
into
tired.
It. Yep, this is my only beef for this movie was that I'm tired song went on for far too
Oh
long.
my
It
god.
did.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. You're tired. We don't need to sing about it for 20 minutes.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Mel Brooks considers that his dirtiest song he ever wrote.
What?
Yeah, it's like, I'm tired of being a sex worker.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know.
He
maybe,
wrote Blazing Saddles.
Maybe it was dirty for the time, but like
Yeah.
now, obviously
it's
not.
really hard to tell sometimes with the quotes from like the actors outside of the movies because you don't know when they're said. It doesn't date
Yeah.
them on IMDb when
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through.
Yeah.
So it's like it might have been his dirtiest song in 1980,
Yeah.
but
That's true.
he did
Yeah,
5 or
sure.
6 other movies after that. So
So he dethroned it.
he possibly dethroned it.
Back to the showgirl. This isn't really beef, just something that I wish would have happened. So when she's seducing the sheriff and Hadley stops by, and she, like, just stops and starts talking to Hadley.
Headley.
Oops. I wasn't even trying to do that. That was my note.
I was going to do it too.
Anywho, Headley
Headley
stops by. She is talking to him in a normal voice, and, like, that room is not very big, right?
Yes.
So, like, Bart can obviously hear her. And
Right.
I just would have loved if they would have, like, panned back and had him just, like, start responding to what she was talking about and, like, made a joke out of the fact that he could hear her.
Oh, where
Just
were you
because-
in the writer's room?
I know! Just because, like, I don't know. It was silly, but I think
Yeah.
that would have been a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
So it's not even really beef. It's, like,
I'm just going to say, I'm sure that was thought about.
maybe
Like-
it's cut.
Yeah,
There's a
judging
chance
by
it was
this
cut.
movie, I'm sure that was thought about.
Yeah, in that scene when all the lights go out, this is the one scene that got cut for the theatrical version, but it was added back in for the home release. It was Lily says, "It's Twill," and Bart goes, so he said something, and he's like, "But you're sucking on my arm." Which I told Sam that, and she just started dying from laughter. But she's not laughing as hard right now, which is
Well, that's
upsetting.
the second time I've heard it. I'm sorry. But missed opportunity, man. I'm glad they added it back in for the home release.
Yeah, apparently Mel Brooks had so much like power within the writing, like in his contract with Warner Brothers, that he got away with so much stuff because he could overpower most of the producers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's just jump to the end of the film quickly and talk about that shenanigans.
That was
Tim
great.
already brought up the breaking of the fourth wall, but I think like it's probably the most creative fourth wall breaks. Like everybody that does it now, they just kind of do it to do it and they don't really think about it. But I really loved how like they're just fighting at the end through the town, and then they just like break into the producer's set, and they're like going through Warner Brothers like parking lot and commissary, and everybody's like throwing pies at each other and just like fighting. So I was gonna say, if that wasn't enough, right? Then they end up at the movie theater for Blazing Saddles premiere, which is like totally ridiculous.
I loved it.
Yeah, well, I think one of my favorite lines was "Drive me off this picture" by Headley. And then he drives him to the movie theater where it's showing Blazing Saddles. Because it's like, he didn't really drive him off of the picture. It was great.
It was.
And then, when he gets there, he still corrects people how to say his name.
His
Headley.
name. Because she has his shoes on or something. And she's like, hit these shoes.
So
Headley.
it's really... It's because there is an actress named Hedy Lamarr.
Oh.
Who sued Mel Brooks over the likeness of her name.
What?
Really?
They settled out of court.
Funny.
But that's why they always correct him throughout the movie.
Wait. Pre-Blazing Saddles? Wait. No. 'cause
She
the movie
found
had
out
to-
from the script
Okay.
that they used her likeness
Okay.
and was going to sue him, but they settled out of court.
But it obviously was like early enough that they could fix it and make a joke out of it the entire movie.
it hasn't been like, it wasn't done, it wasn't finished writing the
Yeah.
story, so they were able to still mess around with it.
Nice. I love it.
At one point when Headley is at the movie theater, it actually had one of the working titles. Because Mel Brooks didn't come up with the final name of Blazing Saddles until he was taking a shower one morning and goes out to his wife and was like, "I got it! Blazing Saddles."
Nice.
And his wife was like, "I like it." So they went with that instead of Black Bart.
Glad they went with Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Well, and the other options were, it had 3 working titles in total.
Okay.
The Purple Sage.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
And then the third one was Tex X. Kind of a Malcolm X sort of deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Tex X.
Interesting.
Blazing Saddles was the best.
Blazing
name.
Saddles is the
Besides
best.
whatever that
So
purple
different
one
than
was.
all of those, and it was so much better.
Yeah. And then
Oh my
during
gosh.
that fight scene, I'm going to hop back to that. There's a dude that walked onto the set, I shit you not, was asked to leave like 5 times.
Okay.
And he just wouldn't leave. So they were like, screw this. We'll just keep rolling.
Okay.
And then Mel Brooks was pissed off and wrote him a waiver and was like, sign this since you're standing in my set. Sign this so that it just go away.
Oh my.
So he's in the film. He's just a random dude wearing a sweater, looking really confused.
Oh, well, I mean, that works for the shot.
It works great for the shot. It's just funny because he was just like, why are you here?
Yeah. Huh.
So, Tim, you had some fourth wall breaks,
so
right?
that whole sequence was cracking me up.
Well,
some of my favorite parts were like, so like the dancers are there right before they crash through the wall. And they're dancing and whatever, and then they come through and they're fighting. And the director of the dancers was like, hey, blah, 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 get off my stage. This is production or whatever. And the guy's like, Mel Brooks is my director. And he punches him in the gut. I love that.
You.
That was amazing. I was like, okay. That was
the full quote was, piss on you. I'm working for Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that down because I loved it too.
Yeah, it was so good. But
was it Taggart that said it?
Yeah. Or like the main ruffian guy or whatever.
Taggart, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got all the names down, so.
Yeah. Let's see. I thought there was one more ahead in that specifically stood out, but.
Was it when Mongo punched the horse?
And
it was a fake horse? He punched a horse where it was like a paper mache horse and it just falls over. Like, they don't even try and make it look real.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's just part of it. I don't know. Oh, man. No, it was that whole sequence. I keep thinking about it, and it's just more and more that pops up that I'm remembering. That's just funny.
It's so good. Yeah, what'd you guys think of Mongo?
I didn't understand.
You didn't understand it? Apparently Richard Pryor came up with the character.
Oh, okay.
Who originally, Mel Brooks wrote the character of Bart for Richard
a lot
Pryor.
more sense.
But the production company wouldn't pay for him because of he's had some run-ins with the law.
Well, and he was really big at the time, too,
Yeah.
wasn't he? So he's probably more expensive.
But yeah, he helped with writing it. But he came up with Mongo. Mongo is named after Mongo Santa Maria, a Cuban musician.
Okay.
And when he first enters the town on the cow, there's a little Mexican guy. You know what I'm talking about? He yells, Mongo Santa Maria.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so that's actually the name of the Cuban musician.
That's funny.
But the cattle he rolled in on.
Why did it say yes, no on the butt?
Tim, do you know?
No,
So back in the 1950s, buses used to have yes on the left side, no on the right side, or whichever side, basically to tell you, you can pass on this side of the bus. Do not pass on this side of the bus. That is what it's referring to. But since we're not in the 1950s...
That was around for a little while, because tractor trailers and stuff used to have like stuff like that.
So that's what the point was. He was just saying Mongo and his cattle are as big as a bus.
Yeah, because there's so much traffic in Rockridge that they had to make sure to designate that.
Hey, Rockridge. I'm surprised it's not Johnsonville.
It should have been.
Oh my god.
Before we hop back, one of my other favorite little details with the fourth wall break was, so they had gone to the movie theater to watch the movie, right, to see how it ends. It was Bart and Jim. And they flip back to, like, the actual Blazing Saddles movie. And Gene Wilder's sitting there with a bucket of popcorn.
Yes. He still had the popcorn.
And, like, they don't even reference it. They just have it chilling.
He just sets
there.
it down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to come with you, man.
Oh, that was great.
But my favorite line by Jim was when he's first introducing himself to Bart. Hi, my name is Jim. And a lot of people, they call me Jim. And I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, I might have to start introducing myself that way.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Well, he also says, like, what would you like to do? He's like, well, play chess and screw. And Bart's like, well, let's play chess.
Let's play chess then.
Yeah, we were just talking about that line earlier today. So good.
Oh, my.
My other favorite line was another, like, ridiculous fourth wall break. So when they build the fake town, right? And Bart's like, oh, I have a way to slow them down.
Yes!
And he builds a toll
Yes!
booth.
Yes!
And so, first off, the fact that they stop at the toll booth and don't go around it is, like, amazing. And then they're like, somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes. So good.
So great.
Oh, I loved it. Because we live in Florida, there are tolls, and the exact change line is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they even went to that detail to put exact change lane, which was amazing.
Oh, it was so good. I was going to say, one of my other fourth wall breaks was when Bart is like, would you do it for Randolph Scott?
Who's Randolph Scott?
A big Western actor.
Nice.
And I had to look it up because like, who the hell is Randolph Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he was a big Western actor. I'm sure your dad and grandpa are very disappointed in us right now.
Probably. We didn't get, like, a lot of the jokes. Sorry!
Yeah, you know. Maybe if it was more of our age or modern or whatever you want to call it, but...
If it was released in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Rather than...
But did you have something about the toll booth? Or something, Tim?
Oh, I just had my favorite quote.
Do it!
Oh, yeah.
Where he's, like, signing up all the ruffians at the table, and then they walk up in all white, you know, the KKK outfits, and then they chase them, and then they're like, hey, wait. Or, no, this is before that, because they get the KK outfits. Jim pulls Bart from behind the rock, and he just goes, where are the white women wet? And then they just chase him. I don't know. That was my favorite.
So I've heard that line so many times, but it's been out of context.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah. No, it was great. Where are the white women at? It's like, wait, what? Are they chasing? I don't know. That was one of my favorites.
And then what did it say on the back of their Klux costumes?
Have a nice day with a
Have
smiley
a nice day.
Yeah.
Oh my. But I loved learning that if I was to sign up to be a ruffian, make sure you bring enough chewing gum
Yes.
for everybody. Otherwise you might get shot.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's just common decency of
It's
a ruffian,
common decency.
clearly.
And I'm sitting there, I used to bring chewing gum to class all the time. Yeah. And nobody ever said that, but now looking back, I'm like, ah, shit. What if they had?
Yeah.
Right?
Might not have worked out so well for you.
Probably not.
So I think something that kind of like sums up the ridiculousness of this movie, I mean, besides what we've already covered, the fact that they built a whole fake town and they like were fine with it. Like they thought that it was real. Okay, so the whole premise of the movie is that they want to build a railroad through Rockledge. Right. So they would have maps that would tell them that is not...
Oh, that they're not in Rockridge?
Yeah.
Well, unless they built it further up on the road.
Maybe.
Like but they got there early. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I agree. Like it just... That just sums up...
Are you saying that Taggart and Lyle are intelligent men?
That's a good point. Never mind.
They paid a toll.
Yeah. Not only that, but they're coming through the town with the fake people, and the fake people are facing the camera.
Yeah!
So you assume the backside of them is probably blank? I don't know.
No, they stayed up all night, and they only had 30 minutes to come up with those fake people. And they had backsides, Tim. They had backsides.
Apparently during the big old scuffle, Mongo punched over a wall as well.
Nice. Yeah. I love it.
I love Mongo.
Yeah.
Mongo loves Bart.
Yes. Mongo loves Bart.
So I have a serious question for you guys. So in the beginning, when they were talking about a price, was it a price for Rockridge or a price for something? And they got out those ball and paddle toys.
Oh, yeah.
Paddleball.
Paddleball, yeah.
Because that's what they were going to give to the Native Americans to buy their land.
Yeah, that was like their price, right?
Yeah.
So Mel Brooks is clearly very bad at it on purpose. But I just want to say, like, that's like about how good I am at those. So how good are you guys at those?
I can get 3 normally at least.
Okay. So not Headley level.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, I'm not Headley level.
Yeah, they're not easy by any chance.
Headley was just like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Do you think that he had to practice for that, or do you think he's just that coordinated?
I kind of feel like he's just that good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it a mystery and we'll just believe him. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
I like to believe it.
He's super coordinated.
Yeah. Now, if we're going to talk about some quotes, I got 2 more for you guys. Oh, prairie shit.
I did like that one.
Yeah.
Like, what other type of shit is there?
In a Western?
In a Western film. That was by one of the Johnsons.
Yeah.
I don't remember which. And then my other one was, you look like a chicken that got caught in a tractor's nuts.
Yep, I liked that one too.
And I want to know what came. Like, how did that come to be a lie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not that I'm defending it, but my great uncle used to say that guy looked like somebody pooped and he ran under it. Like when he referring to somebody's haircut. So like some of these are not like I feel like they have regular.
So you're saying your
Origins.
family all says these type of lines.
I mean, they said it's raining like piss out of a boot.
What?
What?
Yeah.
There's definitely
All
some
prairie
context
shit.
to these that we have no idea about.
There's
Maybe they're
gotta
from
be.
westerns and we don't know. I don't know.
Sam's family are huge Western
See,
fans.
that's probably what
Her
it is.
grandpa, I know that her grandpa, and I'm guessing you're talking about his brother.
Mm-hmm.
I know her grandpa has watched all the John Wayne films like a million bajillion times.
Yeah, he has the John Wayne collection that he watches.
Right.
Yeah, he just puts it on, and he doesn't fall asleep to these movies. He stays up throughout the day and just will watch them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Good man.
damn.
Yeah.
I've not watched a single Western in my life.
What?
No, wait, no. I have.
Now you have!
Now I
I
have.
mean, I've seen plenty, but
I've-
not enough to remember lines like that.
Right?
My dad didn't put them on, and my mom didn't either, I suppose. I can say that.
They're an acquired taste.
They're an acquired taste.
Really?
And I
just
don't think
they're
this
good.
one counts. I haven't seen one, but I would say like
Have you seen Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight?
oh yes.
That's a western.
Yes.
But
But
isn't
Oh.
that
I
like
will
a
say
modern western?
that is-
I will
a
say that,
Western.
yes, Sam's dad almost walked out on us when we were watching that at his house.
Yes, he was.
Your grandpa did walk out.
Yeah.
Huh.
They said that they were excited because it was a western, and then they were like, "Well, that's not what I was thinking." So like, I don't know. I feel like modern day westerns are a tiny bit different, but I could be totally
Well,
wrong.
I will say
because I did enjoy The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a
That was a
thinker.
Tarantino film.
exactly. That's what it was. It's 100% a western, but it's got Quentin Tarantino's spin on it, and I think that's exactly what was probably the problem.
Yeah, once you say it's a Tarantino film, it no longer
It's not.
it loses a qualification of a western.
Or anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's kind of the same with this one, right? So it's a western, but it's a Mel Brooks film.
Yes,
So like
exactly.
it's different.
It's
You
exactly
like
that
negate
same
it.
feeling. Yeah.
I really like Hell or High Water. Is that a western or is that like a thriller?
I would say that's a crime movie.
It's a crime movie. Like
I wouldn't say that's a western because, like, when I think of a western film, I'm thinking cowboys and Indians.
Sure,
I'm
but they're
done.
not all
Cowboys
like that. A
and
lot of them are
Indians.
about like outlaws and stuff like that, or like True Grit is
Oh,
about.
and renegades.
Yeah.
What about the Lone Ranger with Tonto?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay, I've not seen it, but that is one.
I actually take this back. I have seen westerns.
Yeah.
Because I have seen Jeremiah Johnson. Is that a western? I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
it is. And then I have seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
That is
which
definitely one.
That
a
is
western.
definitely one. Yeah.
That one's good. You should watch that one. If you're gonna start with one besides Blazing Saddles, which doesn't count, you
Or
should watch
Hateful
that
Eight,
one.
that doesn't count.
Well,
Yeah.
I just looked up Hell or High Water, and judging by looking at it, I
It
would
looks like
say it's
one.
not a western. It's just based in.
Okay. It's based in the West, but that doesn't mean it's a western.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
have
It's
the-
too modern.
I wouldn't even say the modern thing is what does it. It's just that it's. Well, I don't know because they did like investigating type stuff in westerns and everything, and like the cowboy was the one like going out there figuring stuff out. So I've never seen Hell or High Water.
Oh, it's good.
Well, but at the core, it's like a heist movie. I
It's a
think.
heist movie, yeah.
See,
maybe
I would
not.
qualify as a western to me then.
Okay.
I disagree, but...
I win. I've seen 3 westerns. You've seen half one.
Okay. Now, since you've seen so many, Tim,
Yes.
That's so
do
many.
they all sing?
From what I understand, and a lot of them, yeah, they do.
That is bizarre to me because I don't know. It just is bizarre to me because a Western film is supposed to be more rugged and they're singing?
Well, but it's not like
Well,
big musical numbers.
yeah.
It's kind of just like
On the range,
know.
singing sort of
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
They're
Passing
like-
the
Home
time.
on the rain.
Because that
yeah,
was always
like they're
a thing.
riding their horse, singing to pass the
Yeah,
time.
that's
around.
definitely
Now-
a thing.
Now, like, do they
Are
sing?
you saying you don't sing
Oh, I sing
to
constantly.
pass? Exactly.
No, but I'm just saying, is it like sea shanty sort of like singing? But like the Western sea
Their
shanty.
own feel to it, yeah. I would say
Yeah,
it's
kind
similar
They have their
to that
own
kind
like,
of like
classification?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I would say that Blazing Saddles, the main theme, does an excellent job of like what it should sound like
Oh.
you were saying.
What about Shanghai Noon?
I haven't seen that.
Is that a Western?
Thing. That's a comedy.
It is a comedy. It's great
It's
though.
like
Jackie
this
Chan
one.
and
It's,
Owen
it's
Wilson.
like this movie. It's a comedy with a Western theme.
That takes place in the West.
Yeah.
I just have a question then for the people of the world that are listening.
Yeah.
Is there a full-on Western that has been made, like, past 2000? Because, like, we already decided that Hateful Eight is, like,
It's
like
a Tarantino
half
Western. It's like stating that Inglourious Basterds is a World War II movie. It's a Tarantino World War II movie.
Right.
Yeah,
That comes before.
I would say that Hateful Eight is, like, 3/4 of the way there, right?
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay.
Wild Wild West.
Cowboys versus Ant. Oh. That had, like,
Isn't that a
science
comedy?
scene. Yeah, it's a comedy.
Right.
With Will Smith.
But I still
and-
think that's a
oh,
Western.
shit.
Is it like this one? Because I haven't seen that.
No, there's a lot of mechanical contraptions.
Like,
and
it's still
everything.
somewhat of a comedy, but it's like...
Definitely got that vibe.
Who is the other guy? Who's the scientist guy?
I can't remember
Will
his
Smith
name
is
right
the
now.
cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably more of a comedy. I'll give you
It
that
did
one.
terrible in the box office.
It
I'll
really
tell you that
did,
one.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that one's the... When was that made, though?
Like 2001.
So we think that's the last Western that was made?
No.
Like,
True
that's
Grit.
big
No,
budget.
True
no.
Grit.
That was a remake.
Yes.
What
That
about
doesn't
Django
count.
Unchained?
Tarantino.
True.
Also,
True.
that's in the South. It takes place in
That's true.
like,
You're right.
Mississippi.
Well, True Grit, the remake, was just, like, you can't really count that as, like, a new one, right?
Right.
But-
it's the same thing.
How about Bone Tomahawk?
I don't know.
That-
Are you
What the
just
hell
reading
is that?
Google?
No, that's 100%.
Are you just going down Google?
That's 100% a Western. I may have Googled a few movies.
Oh, it was Kevin Kline in Wild Wild West.
It's 100% a Western. Yeah.
But-
Bone Tomahawk?
Bone
Well,
Tomahawk.
yeah,
I
mean,
I don't know if you want to watch it, Sam. But yeah, I liked it. It didn't get a lot super great reviews, but anyway, I think it's a full Western, and that was 2015. So
okay.
All right. So they do still make
There you
Westerns
go.
because they're singing in it.
they're singing.
Is there?
I know. I'm
It
trying
has
to
to
remember.
check all these boxes now. That we
Yeah, I think there
discovered.
is actually.
All
I'm pretty
right.
sure there is. But Adam, it's cowboys and Indians.
You're goddamn right it is. Now, what about that Cowboys versus Aliens movie? It had Daniel
Oh
Craig
my
in it.
gosh! Not that
And
movie.
then I think John Favreau like directed it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah,
But
that movie was.
That's why
ridiculous.
Favreau signed on,
Yeah.
and then he bowed out, and they had to get Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that, Tim? Was there singing? Does it check the boxes?
I know that Tyler got an
sure
early
it's in.
pass to it.
Oh, okay.
I can't
I
remember
did
it
not see
fully,
that.
but it was a ridiculous movie. But it was supposed to be kind of like a Western movie, and then like aliens came out of nowhere, basically. So
Another Blazing Saddles.
yeah,
Maybe.
it's not even a comedy though.
It's not. Yeah,
It's
it's an
supposed to be
action film.
serious.
Oh.
So it's like if
no.
aliens invaded when it was like Western times and stuff.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a novel idea, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
Props
a-
for that.
man.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I thought about trying to get it in a box office bust one time though, just to
Oh.
hit our Western.
For sure, I will watch it.
Yeah, boy.
I love them terrible movies.
Oh yeah, me too. But
Okay. So Sam, we're gonna hop back real quick. Get into our movie that we're watching.
sorry. That was a big deal.
yeah, it was a big old tangent. But
Yeah.
we
We
had- it was a
basically
good
all went
discussion,
down.
Yeah.
We all basically just went down into some quicksand,
Yes.
Watery
and just
quicksand.
got some
Yes.
watery quicksand, which it's the age-old joke about. I definitely expected more quicksand to be in my life.
Yeah, but I feel like they almost made that joke. Like they made a joke about quicksand.
Yeah.
So.
But it was just funny because like,
No,
I
I know
just-
what you mean.
yeah. But I actually was gonna ask you about the fart scene.
Love the fart scene.
So apparently in the DVD commentary,
Mm-hmm.
they claimed that was the first time fart sounds had ever been in a movie that like went on the big screen.
How old is this movie?
1970s early.
Really?
Yes.
mean-
First time the sound happened. Silent films had them, but they just would say fart.
I
Fart.
could believe
That's
it.
a silly qualification for something. I don't give that a pass.
You don't give it a pass?
No, that's
But
that.
the-
No.
So the whole point of that scene, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
was because Mel Brooks was sitting around watching Western films. He's like, all I see them do is eat canned
Beans, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, but none of them ever fart. So he's like, I'm just going to do a whole scene on it.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if it hits that qualification, but it certainly is farts per volume until
Yeah.
a while, probably.
Yeah.
Like, it might still hold that title. This is a lot of farts.
It was a ton of farts.
But there were a lot of guys. So
There were.
Yeah.
it made sense. It wasn't like one guy was farting.
It wasn't, yeah. Yeah.
That was ridiculous. It was hilarious.
It was ridiculous.
I'm never going to get over it. So good.
Was it as funny as the scene when they're like, the governor's first introduced, and they all just yell, harumph, 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 harumph. Hey, you didn't say harumph. Harumph.
Yes, I really liked that.
That was a great scene. And it made me think, there's a South Park episodes, there are plenty of them, where the townspeople just go, rabble, 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 rabble,
Yeah.
which I think Tim was just doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
they
I
also
want to start using that.
yeah.
But go ahead, Tim.
And then in the town meeting, the one weird drunk cowboy guy, the whole time would just go,
Yes.
rawr, 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 rawr. And they would be like, rawr, 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 and he'd be, rawr, 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 rawr.
Are you talking about Gabby Johnson?
Whatever the guy was wearing red.
Thank you, Gabby Johnson, for your authentic frontier gibberish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved Gabby Johnson. And then he's just like, he's come. He's like yelling, he's coming, but he's not saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. And I'm like, nice.
Well, I really liked that scene too because it was yet another ridiculous Johnson thing where they'd be like, yeah, and Clay Johnson's right, and I'm John Johnson. And yeah, John Johnson was right, and I'm whoever Johnson. It was so good.
Oh, man. So I was going to ask, what are your guys... So would the fart scene be your favorite scene, Sam? Because I was going to ask what your guys' favorite scenes were.
Mine is the fourth wall breaking down the whole studio.
Yeah.
100% studio
really
scene. Because it's really hard to compete with that, I will state, just due to the length of it.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I would say that my favorite is not the fart scene. Shockingly, that's my second favorite. My first favorite is the toll booth and how confused they are. And
Toll
then they
booth's
actually
great.
go back for dimes and just the whole bit is amazing. What about you?
Mine would be when he first shows up as sheriff and he gets there
Okay.
and makes a speech and everyone points their guns at him. And then he pulls his out and points it at himself and holds himself hostage. That's great. That's my favorite because he just like walks away. They're like, oh no.
And once he gets into the sheriff's office, doesn't he say something like, "Oh Lord, these people," or something like that?
Like so dumb or something like that. Yeah.
And when Gene Wilder's talking to him, like, and he just kind of trails off and he's like, oh, like about these people, pause, they're morons.
Yeah.
Right? Apparently his reaction, that wasn't like in the script. So Bart's reaction is real.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those two actually became pretty close friends in the movie. So Gene Wilder would like help him because Bart, the actor who played Bart, that's like one of his first big films.
Yeah.
He's a Broadway actor.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So like he was like, okay, you need to stare at that camera. Like he would help him where to look.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So it was kind of nice that they became friends as like sheriff and deputy
Yeah.
and whatnot.
I mean, he was great. I wouldn't have suspected him to be,
I know.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
I wonder if
was
he's
not
in
much.
anything else. Well, I mean, you'll get to that eventually. But...
I'll get to that.
Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Tim? Before he gets to the actors.
Before he gets to, yeah. I mean, there's
I
just
got a
so
lot
many
still.
one-liners. Like, I can't even. Like, I need more vitamin E. The Looney Tunes.
Yes!
Music. Like, there's just so much stuff going on that if you're not watching the movie, paying attention to it, you're gonna miss so much in such a short amount of time, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, and like we were saying, like there were so many jokes per like minute.
Yeah.
And like half of them I feel like I didn't get
right,
'cause
yeah.
of, like the time or like the genre. So I'd like to almost like sit there, pause, write it down, look it up.
Yep.
Just like how you want to do with Aladdin and the King of Thieves, but with the genie.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all just real quick. A lot of them are one-liners. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a few.
We'll give you the floor.
All right. So this movie was filmed on the same set as Westworld from 1973. By the way, Westworld, the new HBO show, is a remake.
What?
What? First off, your what? I don't even know what your what was.
I can't replicate that what, but that was just sheer shock.
So when they finished filming another, I'm gonna just keep bolting through these. When they showed it to the Warner Brothers executives, they're like, they got a couple chuckles. That's it, just a couple chuckles.
What?
They almost canned the entire film, but they were like, no, let's show it to some studio employees. The whole movie like was dying from laughter, like the whole theater.
Stupid executives.
It's stupid.
All right, John Wayne had read the script before they had cast anybody and said it was too dirty for him to play in, but he will be the first man in line to see the film.
I love it.
That's
Yeah,
right
he
on
always played
character,
like
I think.
wholesome people, didn't he?
All right, the actor.
Wait. Did he always play wholesome people, Tim?
Did he ever become the villain?
I think he was actually in one of them. He was the bad guy. But well, okay, so technically he's the bad guy, I think, but he becomes the hero.
Okay.
Weird.
I think. I don't remember. I think there's one specifically that he is the bad guy in.
Okay.
But I feel like he always plays a gentleman-ish. It's I don't know. Even the bad guys weren't that bad, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know. I'm not seeing
My
that.
Western stereotypes.
Yeah, no, I think for sure he's still like very wholesome and stuff, but he's a bad guy.
He's not the bad guy?
He's just a bad guy. Go ahead.
Okay. Slim Pickens, who's the actor of Taggart.
Yes.
Spoiler. When they went out into like the West, like a lot of the actors would go back into town to stay. He stayed in his RV all night and would sit out on his front porch with a campfire and sitting there with his Winchester rifle.
Eating his can of beans.
Probably.
Yeah.
Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be, I know this is going to be Sam's, one of her favorite comments of all time.
Ooh.
For the premiere of this did not go to the Chinese theater in
Really?
Hollywood. It did not. It went to the Pickwork Drive-In, where all the guests rolled in on horses.
That's all.
Yes!
And they stayed on horseback the entire film,
Yes!
including Bart, the actor that played Bart, Clevin Little, and then Gene Wilder.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That rivals Squeaky Wheels. I think that's
Yeah.
better than Squeaky Wheels. And let's just think about that. I gotta get my little poo comment in here. Think of all the horse poop during this whole film.
Yeah.
It had to be stinky up in there.
It did.
And it is interesting that they premiered at a drive-in, considering the fourth wall break is at the Chinese theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I loved about it.
That's amazing. That is my new favorite fact. You win.
I told you.
Snaps for you.
Okay. I will get to the cast now. Tim, give me what? Oh,
Ooh! His was the best.
shit. It's because he's watched so many more Westerns.
Yeah.
True. I also
He's
own
been
a
practicing.
I'm
What?
just- whoop.
I own a whip and a cowboy hat. Like a legit.
Well, I knew the cowboy hat. I think we were there when you bought it.
Yeah, I have one from when I
That's
was a
a
kid.
different hat.
We went out west. And I got a hat,
Wow,
cowboy
wow,
boots,
West. Wow,
a
West.
bow,
Wait.
and a whip.
Your hat from when you were a kid still fits your head?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
Also, I think all of those items are at my parents' house.
Okay. Well, I think we should just copy and paste his which I use it all the time.
Well, yeah, definitely. Okay, again, the
Yeah,
cast.
sorry.
Bart was played by Clevin Little. Would you say that's Clevin or Cleven?
I'm not.
We're gonna go with Clevin. Clevin Cleven Little. He didn't do much like on the big screen. He was in a TV show called Baghdad Cafe, right?
I feel like they're remaking that, aren't they?
I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
I feel like I've seen that. Anyway,
I want to say I'm actually pretty disappointed. I really liked him as like an actor. I thought he was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Was he in a lot of Broadway stuff?
Yes, he has a Tony for the
Ooh.
movie
Okay.
Pearly, but he also studied at Juilliard.
Nice. Do you know who also studied at Juilliard?
Who?
Glenn Howerton. Isn't that
Nice.
Yes,
ridiculous?
he did. Yeah. That's
But-
nuts.
I'm gonna pass up on Glenn.
Sorry.
But he was trained to do Shakespearean classical work.
Ah,
That's what he was taught to do,
that's cool.
and he was in Blazing Saddles.
I love it. He definitely used it.
That range,
Yes.
Jim. Jim
Jim.
is played by Gene Wilder. Mm-hmm. I can actually say Gene Wilder's name. But I just wanted to stutter there because I did it earlier. Mm-hmm. He was in Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
The Producers. Mm-hmm. And Willy Wonka. I know, so shocking.
What? He's Willy Wonka?
I never said that. I said he was in it. Oh. You're making assumptions, my dear lady.
Clearly, I saw the movie.
Tim, have you seen Young Frankenstein or The Producers?
No.
No.
I've been wanting to see Young Frankenstein. I almost chose it for this classics next time.
Also Mel Brooks.
Yeah, there you go.
The Producers, also Mel Brooks.
Craziness.
But Taggart was played... This guy has the best name.
Better than Slim Pickens?
That is his name, Slim Pickens. He has the best name. Slim Pickens.
I saw that name roll past in the intro, and I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. Like, there's no way.
Slim freaking Pickens.
I want you guys to refer to me as Slim Pickens from now on.
All right, Slim.
Thanks.
He was in Doctor Strangelove and has a very long title, and I did not write it all down.
I thought you were gonna say Doctor Strange. I was like, no.
Doctor Strangelove. Unfortunately, he has passed before that movie.
Aww.
Only 2 remaining actors are around from this film. One of them being Mel Brooks, one of them being Burton Gilliam, who plays Lyle.
Wow, thanks for depressing us.
Anywho, the happy part, he plays Major King Kong in Doctor Strangelove, which is a Kubrick film.
Oh, okay.
It's, when I say it's a long title, I want to say it's like 10 words long.
It's not Doctor Strangelove? It's like...
No, Doctor Strangelove, and then The Man Who Worried About Something or Other.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't write it down because I was running out of space. But here's the fun fact about Slim Pickens. For 2 decades, he was not world-renowned, but a well-known rodeo clown.
Yes! I believe it.
Yep.
Slim Pickens, man.
Tim, could you be a rodeo clown?
No.
Not fast enough. I couldn't do it.
I don't want to be hit by a bull.
No.
No, not particularly.
It's not on my list.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
So Tim won't be running with the bulls?
No,
I'll watch from a distance.
Never again. I was a kid also in the same Western trip, I believe.
Oh.
And we went around and chased like a pig or something, and then I got lost afterwards. Yeah.
Oh no!
It's the whole thing.
Oh my word.
All right, so Hedy Lamarr was played by Harvey Korman. He was in History of the World Part 1.
Okay.
Mel Brooks film.
Okay.
Dracula Dead and Loving It. Mel Brooks film.
Nice. We gotta watch that for Halloween, but continue.
Carol Burnett Show. I've never heard of it, but he was in 239 episodes of it.
That was pretty popular.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I've heard of it. That was it? Or he was in more stuff?
He's in more stuff.
Because I feel like I recognize his face, but maybe it was just from Dead and Loving It.
It's from Dead and Loving It. He's the professor.
Okay.
And then Lily von Stupp, played by Madeline Kahn. And you guys might know her from Paper Moon.
Nope.
Young Frankenstein.
Nice.
Mrs. White in Clue.
Really?
Yeah, she's Mrs. White.
That's amazing.
And if I recall correctly, they make Mrs. White look attractive rather than the old lady Mrs. White that is in the board game.
No idea.
Tim.
Yeah.
I'll defer to you guys on that.
Do you know? Have you seen Clue?
No.
Oh, that's a...
The old one or the new one?
Oh, that's a good one. What?
The old one or
It's
the
not
new
a new one.
Yeah, there is.
There's Knives Out. That is kind of Clue-ish.
Oh, there's a newer one, I thought.
I do not know.
Okay,
Anyways,
anywho.
carrying on.
Potentially, she's young. Well, she's obviously young.
Lyle.
Continue.
Lyle's the guy that had the teeth that bothered you.
Oh my god. I'm pretty sure he's Renfield in Dead and Loving It. Is he?
I didn't see him on the list.
Oh, he looks like Renfield.
But he's in Paper Moon.
Okay.
I don't think there were as many actors
Yeah,
as
I
there
think
are.
they just borrowed, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Mel
It
Brooks
works.
actors typically stay within.
Well, yeah, it's a certain shtick.
It is.
Yeah.
But he's in Back to the Future 3.
Really?
He is a Colt gun salesman.
Huh.
Well, Back to the Future 3 is a Western theme.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Noise.
And then the governor Fartomaniac himself was played by Mel Brooks.
What? Shocking.
He was apparently in the Muppets movie, which is a movie I really want to see.
Mel Brooks is in the original Muppets?
Movie, yeah.
Really?
Right?
Interesting. Does he play a Muppet?
No, he plays a human.
Okay.
He plays a professor. I think Honeydew, it's a scuffle with him or something.
All right.
Because I remember during that show that we watched, what is that show?
Prop culture.
Prop Culture. The guy who played Honeydew was just talking about, like, yeah. And it was really interesting to talk to Mel Brooks right in the face, but with
Honeydew.
Honeydew.
Interesting.
Yeah. But, yeah, he he directed The Producers, which is his big coming onto the scene movie.
Yeah, people really love that movie.
Young Frankenstein. History of the World Part 1. Spaceballs, which is the first movie I saw by him.
I didn't know that was a Mel Brooks film until you guys told me.
He's the Yoda in that movie.
Nice.
I'm forgetting his name. Tim? Have you seen Spaceballs?
Yes, I have, but I can't...
It's like Yertle or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. That's a great movie, too, but yeah, I can't remember it.
It is fantastic.
I haven't seen it forever.
Robin Hood in The Men in Tights, or Robin Hood, I can't ever say it right. But that one, I saw that when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in forever. I want to see it again. And I've been trying to get you to see it, Sam.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, she's been like, I've seen too many Robin Hood movies.
Nothing can dethrone Disney. Except for,
Maybe this one.
We'll see.
And then Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yes.
That is Sam's Halloween movie. We have to watch it on Halloween every year. Yep. Even when we were in Morocco one year, we watched it on Halloween.
Hell yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure, that whole trip when we went to Morocco, I watched it like 5 times when we were going on the trains. It's so good. Leslie Nielsen
Nielsen mixed with Mel Brooks.
It's a classic.
It's just perfect.
I'm pretty sure I made Tim. Didn't we?
Yeah,
make
we
you
did.
Watch
we
it
made you watch
Halloween?
it. You and Travis.
Not that you remember it,
though.
but I'm pretty sure
We had it on when we were going out before we went out.
Yeah,
okay.
Like we watched it in Oxford one time.
Okay, all right. I still don't
Good
remember
stuff.
it.
Well, there could have been beverages involved.
Lots of beverages. Lots of them. But yeah, so that's the cast.
Nice.
I have one final remark.
Okay.
Tim and Sam, both of you, I want to ask you too, dear.
Okay.
Would you read a book written by Mel Brooks' son?
What?
Is it about Mel Brooks? Or is
No, it's a novel. It's a fictional novel.
Probably.
Probably.
Sure. I don't know.
His son, Max Brooks, wrote World War Z.
What?
Yes.
So then, yes, I would read it.
Yeah.
I changed my answer from on the fence to yes.
Apparently, it's not like the movie.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that when the movie came out.
Yeah, which it just takes aspects of it. Anywho.
Well, when is the movie ever like the book? Is what I say.
Fight Club.
Okay, that's like the only one. And maybe Watchmen because it's 50 million years long.
Well, and Watchmen has a comic to literally follow page to page. It's easier. You don't have to imagine everything.
You would say that, but then The Walking Dead is not like the comic at all. But
That's
continue.
true. That's true. And my final statement is Mel Brooks to mess with people when he got his star in the Hall of Fame walking.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That word, yes. He put a prosthetic finger on to have 6 fingers.
That's
he did.
amazing.
Of course he did.
I really want to go to the Walk of Fame just to see it now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That would be the main reason to go for me.
That's great.
And is Hedley Lamar big enough to actually have
Yeah, she has one. Hattie Lamar does have one.
Oh, Hedley doesn't.
Hedley does not. Hattie
Okay,
does.
because I was going to say, they definitely played at that joke outside the Chinese theater.
Yeah, she has one.
She has one. Nice. I'd go visit that.
Just a lull.
Just so bold.
But yes. So
That was amazing.
that's all I got.
So many good facts,
So
man.
many.
I know. Well, I feel like classics are easier in that respect, due to the fact
True.
that they've been sitting for years.
Plus, this one...
There's so much to
There's
dig
so
into with Mel
much.
Brooks.
This could have easily been a 2-parter episode.
Probably. If we just wanted to split it up ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll do that to you in the future, but hey, Sam's got it in her head now.
Wait, what's the order of operations?
No, what do you mean?
Do we spin or do we ask if we would flip
We
it
would
on?
ask. I just like to prepare for afterwards.
Okay, Adam, would you flip it on?
Yes, indubitably.
Okay.
I would. Tim? Tom?
I don't know. I'm kidding. It's a yes. Yeah, it's a yes. I was trying to come up with something, but no, it's a yes.
Now Samster. Sam.
She's gonna be the no. For whatever.
She's gonna turn it on just for the fart scene.
Yeah.
No.
No, see, she said it.
Do that too. She said no. She said no.
I was trying to say the yes. I'm flipping on.
Were you trying to do the Midwestern no yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
No, yeah.
No. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean
I was
yes.
trying
Oh my
to say
God.
no because you guys were plugging me as a naysayer, and I am saying yes because it's over the top ridiculousness, and I loved it. I loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it. All right. Are we ready to spin?
We
now?
did not list it, by the way. We loved it.
Yeah, we loved it. We didn't list it. Please don't remake it. God, it would be so horrible.
Don't touch anything by Mel
Yeah,
Brooks.
That would
just
not
leave
work.
it, please.
Oh, also, last thing. Mel Brooks is an actor in a movie called Blazing Samurai coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Oh, and it has it's like an animated cat movie.
It's an
isn't
animated
it?
fat cat
I
samurai.
love it.
Already.
We're seeing it.
Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Okay, now I'm gonna watch it.
We're seeing it.
We're seeing it.
Once it comes out.
It's supposed to come out in 2017. It's tacked on to be out 2021.
All right.
All right, Tim, guess what? You're up for the Wheel of
I'm
Fortune.
up.
Wait,
What are you
copyright
hoping to
infringement.
get?
Yeah, Tim, what are you hoping to get before their time? Or wordplay?
Oh, because we still haven't had those. have
Whatever
we?
could
We
get
still have
me
not.
thriller or suspense.
Oh, okay.
All
I have a
right,
good one
children's movie it
that I
is.
really- yeah, I have a really good one that I want to try.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
All right, Sam, I'll let you do the honors.
No, every time I spin it, we get a repeat.
All
Break
right,
the
here we go.
wheel,
We're
Skip.
spinning. Streaming original. No. Yep. Streaming original.
Okay.
Oh my.
That might fit, actually. I will have to double
That's
check.
what she said. Come on, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
I
All
wasn't
right,
gonna laugh.
God damn it.
Thanks for listening, guys. We had a lot of fun with this episode.
True Grit was amazing.
True Grit was so
So
good. It was so funny.
good. John Wayne
Tim, whip
farting
us
the whole
out.
time was
That sounds
amazing.
weird. Fartomaniac.
Well, you need a good whoosh.